That's right, we actually get to talk about Sonic Movie 3 again. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, for another video. This video today, we are back again to talk more about one of my most anticipated Sonic projects, one of the fan base's most anticipated Sonic projects that is coming out next year. Even though it is still a ways out, we're inching closer and closer to it as the months go on, naturally, as time works. Sonic Movie 3, it is happening. It is going to start filming this year, I suppose. We're going to start learning more and more info about it. I'm sure we're going to be getting some news about it, and that's what we have today. We have some mini pieces of news. Not necessarily anything from a major outlet, like a big breaking article or story or anything like that, or a first look. But we do have small bits of info, one being a really big rumor actually about casting, which may surprise you, and then the other being actually an official word from one of the writers of the Sonic movies that we will get to probably first, but this is very exciting nonetheless, and to stay tuned for all things related to Sonic Movie 3 and everything Sonic the Hedgehog, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and like this video. But yeah, this news has literally just came out the day I'm filming this and getting this out to you guys, so I'm sure a lot of you guys probably don't even know what's going on right now, so let's break it all down real quick. The first thing is one of the writers, like I mentioned. That's how we get a lot of our news from the Sonic movies in general, was from Patrick Casey or Josh Miller. They do a lot of podcasts, interviews, etc. They've been working on some other films such as Violent Night, which they did press for. We've been getting a lot of info from them in relation to the Sonic movies, and that's really been like a drinking well for Sonic fans when it comes to getting news about Sonic Movie 3 or what have you. And while this might not be an interview or an article or a massive statement, it is something very interesting and very significant, and something we didn't really actually know until just now because he stated it. So somebody was tweeting out this saying, at Josh Miller, "Hey Josh, can I ask, are Sega being pretty cool about what you want to do with Shadow?" And then somebody quote tweeted that, adding Pat Casey, because I guess he's a little more active on Twitter, and then he replied with saying, "All Sonic 3 stuff is top secret, obviously." And then somebody replied with, "Has writing stopped because of the writer's strike, or have you finished writing before the strike?" And if you guys don't know, because I know not too many Sonic fans are tuned in with a lot of that going on right now, there is a writer's strike, a WGA Writers strike, the Writers Guild of America, where a bunch of writers on different Hollywood projects, whether that be TV shows or movies, are simply striking from their projects, not really developing them, writing them anymore, putting them on hold so they can get fair wages for their work. This has halted a lot of projects. Some are safe, some aren't, and it really all depends on if that script was finished and turned in or not. In Sonic Movie 3, we were kind of wondering, is this movie going to get delayed, impacted by this writer's strike? What's going on? Because the movie hasn't started filming yet. It comes out in late December of 2024, and since they're not working on the Knuckles show whatsoever, maybe they're still working on Sonic Movie 3's script. Turns out that's not the case. The script is finished. He said, "We finished writing before the strike," which is great. So while they might not be able to make any like touches as of right now, the script is done and it's been turned in, and we have the finished product of what Sonic Movie 3 is going to be already in the ethos somewhere. I find this very interesting because, like I just stated only a few seconds ago, I assumed because they weren't working on the Knuckles show and that they expressed interest in doing the Knuckles show, that they were just really all working on Sonic Movie 3, and they were just like spending more and more time on that, and even working on it right now, because I think that the movie won't start filming for quite a while at this point. I think there's even a chance that this thing won't start filming until next year, even though I doubt that. I think that there is a chance if they really want to shoot that close. I believe the Knuckles show is expected to wrap up in around a month or so. I know it's like nearing the end. It's more at the tail end than it is at the beginning of its production. And I'm sure like once when they finish that, they're gonna have like a mini, when I say mini, a mini break, and then get right into Sonic Movie 3. But it's very good to know that the script is done. It's not impacted. We won't see a delay because of the writer's strike. It is finished. That's very exciting. But that was the smaller piece of info, actually. Some of you guys may have been like, okay, that's pretty significant. The script is done. Cool. No, we actually have something quite large, and I was kind of surprised to wake up to this morning. This is an article that is floating around the fan base, and I know is going to continue to make more and more waves. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I gotta kind of shut down some BS. You guys know we like the Sonic Stadium around here, we respect them, and even they put out a tweet saying that they do not trust this just yet and that they're just putting this out there, which is perfectly respectable, because this is not official news. This is going around as a rumor, but it states that Aubrey Plaza, I love Aubrey Plaza personally, I love her work and many of her different projects, is being considered for a role in Sonic Movie 3. Now this alone, I'd be like, okay, this is cool, you know, I liked her in Parks and Rec, but it's really like, where is this coming from? Like, is this coming from some other places that leaked people who were in the running for things, X or Y. The last time we really got like a rumor about a Sonic casting was Knuckles, and it was Jason Momoa was offered the role, and I think the Illuminati, but they didn't say that Jason Momoa was going to be Knuckles. It was simply that he was offered the role, and if you're offered a role, you can either take it or not, and I guess he chose not to. Idris Elba ended up taking the role, which was great, but the Illuminati, I think we forget, also got a lot of stuff right for the Sonic movie too, like before that article even came out detailing the fact that Knuckles was going to be in the movie, and some filming locations and dates. They were very accurate about their Sonic Movie 2 coverage, and while they haven't done anything with Sonic Movie 3 just yet, we have this right here saying, hold on to your hats because it's Sonic Movie rumor time once again. The latest gossip to float around the internet this week is that Parks and Recreation and White Lotus star Aubrey Plaza is being heavily considered for a villain role in the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The news comes from Giant Freaking Robot, which claims that according to a trusted and proven source, filmmakers behind the Paramount Pictures sequel have Plaza as their top choice to play a villain in Sonic 3. Of course, no other details were offered on what particular role the actor would be taking on, or even if she has been approached to sign on to the movie. So take all of this with the largest pinch of salt that you can find, a handful if you like, chunk it over your shoulder just like that. Despite the lack of information, there is room for speculation here. If this rumor ends up being true, odds are that Rouge the Bat could be a possibility, given the suggestion that Sonic 3's storyline, of which we also know nothing about right now, would follow that of the Sonic Adventure 2 video game in some way. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was announced in February of 2022 alongside a Knuckles spin-off TV series, and a release date was later set for December 20th of 2024. So we have plenty of time to learn more about the film between now and then. And yeah, we'll cut it off there, but you might be saying, okay Ricardo, nothing really sounds too crazy or like out of pocket there, why aren't you believing this? And it's simply because of the source. I'm a big movie guy. I stay up to date and like kind of in the loop with just film news regardless of what genre it is. I love movies. I love movies. When I'm not doing this Sonic thing or being outside and social, I'm just like immersing myself in like what's going on in Hollywood right now. I know where a lot of the respected pundits are, whether that's like Hollywood Reporter or Variety or Deadline. Like those are like the big three for me. And you have some other ones out there who break things every once in a while that are, you know, respectable. Even some like independent sources like Daniel RPK, who I think has broken Sonic stories before actually on his Twitter account. But then there's the one that you need to stay away from. One of them being We Got This Covered, who did a lot of fake Sonic news stories that I think I actually even covered when I didn't know better back in like 2020. It was bad, like, oh, Amy's gonna be in Sonic 2, or this character's gonna be in Sonic 2 played by this character, when it was way too early for us to know that information before they even got into the casting process for that movie. I just realized that this light was not on the entire time. Sorry. And then the other one is Giant Freaking Robot. They get a lot of stuff like them. I don't want to say they're as bad as We Got This Covered, but they are by no means that respectable of a source. They get a lot of things wrong too, and they're kind of known for spreading a lot of misinformation a lot of the time, and this could very well be the case. It was after filming that they casted Idris Elba as Knuckles, unless this is a live action part, which would be interesting to say the least. I don't really see the purpose in them already seeking her out right now. I like Aubrey Plaza a lot. I think she's great. I think she's funny. I think she has a good balance in her tone. She has a good range as an actress. And the more I could see of her as a performer would be great. And to see her in the Sonic movies would be awesome. And whether that is Rouge, which I think definitely fits her best, which would be interesting. If it's Amy, which I don't see, because I think unless they really change her character, which I'm here for, I don't see her doing that. Or this could be a situation which I had come into my mind of, what if Eggman really is dead? What if Jim Carrey doesn't come back? Is she gonna kind of like take on this more main villain role? I personally have no clue, obviously. I'm not tapped into the movies behind the scenes like that, unless anybody working on the movies would like to give me some behind the scenes details on the plot. You know, Patrick Casey hit me up in the emails. I don't know. I wouldn't believe this if I was you guys. I think what they're trying to suggest is that this is gonna be the Rouge casting, but I think that wouldn't news about Shadow's casting come out first? Wouldn't he be more of a priority? And you guys know me, when I see rumors and leaks sometimes, I'm like, believe that. But this is a situation where I'm like, don't believe that, because a Giant Freaking Robot, not a good source, and also just like, I think it's way too early for them to be looking at voice castings potentially. But anyways guys, that is it. This is a shorter one, but I want to know what you guys think about these two little Sonic Movie 3 updates about the film script being finished and ready to go, and also Aubrey Plaza supposedly, with a giant grain of salt, being looked at for a role in Sonic Movie 3 as a villain character. Do you think it's Rouge? Do you think it's someone else? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links to my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow this but see my life feature content and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. If they truly have planned on doing this every single year, and making this an annual thing, a Sonic Central should be right around the corner. We should be getting some news about a lot of upcoming Sonic projects. Frontiers DLC 2 should be on the way soon. Sonic Origins Plus is right around the corner. I bet you forgot about that. Prime is on the way in only a few months. We should be getting news on these things, some trailers, some behind the scenes looks, and also we'll look at that new 2D Sonic game that is almost certainly in the works. So to stay tuned for all of the brand new Sonic news that is right around the corner, this is the spot to be. I love all of you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Woo!
Wonder what you want right now, wonder what you want right now. Used to be about it, but used to be about it, Counting all my blessings and count my dollars. Make it all better tomorrow, I'll tell you how, bro. If you see me